life.
What's happening, Moonbeam and Moon River Voyagers? Welcome to another episode of Moonbeam Universe, where we aim to connect our vibrant community with the culmination of teams behind projects being built on the Moonbeam network. In today's segment, we're going to be talking about Leafy Protocol, their team, platform's use case, how they are disrupting the space with their cross-chain bridge aggregation protocol, and they're going to be showing us a little demo and answering some of your questions and more. Be sure to stick around until the end of the segment where we'll be quizzing you with fun trivia about Leafy Protocol for some very cool prizes. So without further ado, I'm your host, Jay, the Crypto Krill, here with our special guest, Philipp Zentner, CEO and founder of Leafy Protocol. Philipp, thank you for joining us.
Hi guys, thank you very much for joining us and thank you for having me. Really happy to be here and tell you about Leafy. In short, we are a bridge and DEX aggregation protocol. So if you're wondering how to bridge assets from one chain to the other, you don't have to anymore. You can simply go to transfer2.xyz. This is our user interface, and you can bridge across 17 chains, and we will search the perfect bridge for you. And furthermore, we also connect these bridges to DEXs, so you can swap within one transaction, and it saves you a lot of time.
Wow, that's some really awesome stuff. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us, as well as our community. So first off, for anyone new to the Moonbeam ecosystem, as well as anyone new to cross-chain technology, can you go a little bit more in depth of what Leafy Protocol is?
Yes, of course. So essentially, we are trying to simplify the whole complexity of that bridging environment, right? Over the last year, we have seen more and more side chains, L1s and EVM compatible chains coming up, and they're also some sort of DeFi summer in small, but more and more chains are becoming relevant. Ethereum shows optimistic and zero knowledge rollups to scale, so all these changes force us to move assets from one chain to the other, and all these bridges, well, they have to make trade-offs, right? Because we introduced blockchains to get rid of the intermediary, and now once you want to bridge two assets, we have to introduce an intermediary again, a bridge that takes care of your asset on one chain and moves it over to the other one. So with that being said, bridges are introducing trust assumptions. When we are talking about trust assumptions, we have to ask who's verifying this system in between and what would it cost to corrupt it. And all these different bridges have different trade-offs. So there is this interoperability trilemma. Arjun Bhuptani from Connex had lined that out perfectly in the blog. And it's essentially bridges have to choose between generalizability. So what can you do with a bridge? Can you only transfer assets, or can you also maybe exchange information of other kinds? It's about extensibility, like how easy is it for a bridge to expand to other networks, maybe to other L1s even. And then we have the whole topic of trust minimization, where we can differentiate again. Like, again, we are asking, how is the system verified? And then there's a very native way. So if two chains would implement light clients of each other, that would be like the most trustworthy thing. But then like the trade-off is extensibility, because that doesn't scale, right? That would essentially mean each chain would have to implement a light client of each other chain, and that's not possible. So some ecosystems like Polkadot and Cosmos have foreseen this from the get-go. So Polkadot system has XCMP as an interchain communication protocol, and Cosmos has IBC. But yeah, in the EVM world, we don't have that. So we have a huge bridging landscape by now, and we aggregate all these bridges, and then we find the best bridge for you depending on the source and destination chain.
Wow. Yeah, that's some amazing stuff. So it's really, you guys are trying to help simplify the, the multi-chain future and the overall user experience. As we know, sometimes you can just bridge hop. So I think that's some amazing stuff. So I guess take me back a little bit. What was kind of the inspiration behind the start of Leafy?
Yeah, we joined the space. When we joined the space, that was kind of beginning last year, February, March. Much more so. The first hackathon Max and I did together was scaling Ethereum. So there were two impulses. First of all, we came to the space and we thought like we were looking at transaction rates, and our immediate gut feeling was like, okay, if this is supposed to scale, if blockchains are supposed to scale, the future is probably multi-chain. It was pretty clear like this that doesn't scale. We have a strong background in distributed database systems. So for us, it was kind of a immediate impulse like, wow, that's slow. And then lucky enough, like the very first hackathon that came to our mind was scaling Ethereum. It was all about scaling technologies within the EVM context. We met the teams from Arbitrum and Optimism. We met the teams from Connex and Hop, and other folks around this. And yeah, it was kind of the immediate impulse again that this whole fragmented infrastructure that was about to rise, someone would have to abstract that away, right? Like if someone is looking at this crypto space, so many chains, so many bridges, DEXs, DEX aggregators, reliner networks, they all come with their own gas estimation APIs and RPCs. Like all of that is a lot just for the simple purpose of moving money from one chain to the other. So we thought like someone has to aggregate all of that and make it simple for businesses to build on DeFi, to build on crypto without having to take care too much who is winning below that, who is winning down there, what is the bridge right now that survived actually, or what is the best bridge to take, or which RPC to use, which gas estimation API to use. All of these things we wanted to bundle and provide out of the box. And all in all, we are more a B2B product targeting developers than B2C. But of course, we have the B2C interface for the power users in the space. Everyone who is still sticking around despite the bear market can use this. And I think in the future, more and more of that will be abstracted away into wallets, whom we work closely with, as well as widgets on websites.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So my next question for you is, can you tell us a little bit about your team? I know that I've spoken with Murdoch before, great guy. I've also seen their the Cross Chain Insider with Mark and Arjun, great stuff.
Yeah, we have a super driven team. I'm so happy. I'm really in love with all of them. My co-founder and I, Max, we have been working together for 10 years, so we have a very long history. We trust each other blindly. We have bootstrapped a couple of startups, so we have seen a lot of shit. it was quite a journey so far. So happy to still work together. And that also allowed us to source plenty of talents from our network. So our lead backend designer, lead backend developer, Matthias, as well as our lead frontend developer, Adrian. We have been working with them for 6 years. I met our lead Solidity developer, Ed, on Bali a couple of years ago. We lived together, so I wasn't even in crypto back then. So also a longer story. And then we have like a super strong BD and marketing team. Akshay is our head of BD, and Arjun, Arjun, our lead researcher, they've been working with us from day one. They really joined early. They could foresee that this is going to be big, so they were motivated and they're very driven. And lucky enough, down the line, Murdoch and Marco joins again. All of these four guys I just mentioned are friends. They're visiting each other, it's a tight knit team we have. It's great. All in all, we are 30 people by now, 50-50 tech and BD.
That's great. Yeah, it sounds like you have a really smart team with a lot of experience. So, and you guys are ready to disrupt the space. I love it.
There's a lot to do, and especially as it's fast changing, that case for aggregation, abstracting an abstraction, it increases the more the space fragments and changes. Like the stronger the pitch to simply use an aggregator and not having to take care of these changes down there, because all of that creates a huge maintenance overhead, especially for people that build on top of crypto, especially CDFI, I would say. Anything that comes from top and wants to stay there, very, very close to the consumer level, They want to have a solution. And also for crypto users, it becomes a burden to make yourself familiar with all these different trust assumptions, attack vectors. What does it mean what is a safe bridge, what's not? There is a lot of content
Right.
out there. Like we do a lot of educational effort. But still, you also have to find the time, and you have to have the interest, and you might have to have a certain degree of technical understanding, but maybe you just don't want that, right? So
Right.
transfer to XYZ.
Sorry, broke up there for a bit. But next question that I have for you is, so why did you and your team decide to deploy in the Moonbeam ecosystem?
Well, we always go by customer demand, There we had more and more users asking for this, and first and foremost, we are dependent on the bridges that go to other chains first, and then it's up to us to deploy to enable that network on our level, and then also deploy contracts. And yeah, I mean, Moonbeam was definitely something that was that found high demand in our community. So once the voices became louder, it was like a no-brainer to also launch a Moonbeam.
Gotcha. So, I guess the next question that I have is, can you share what you and your team have been up to the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, of course. The past weeks, man, busy. We are about to finish our third audit. Security is very important to us. So we had one audit in March, we had another audit in May, and now we have the third audit done by Spirit DAO. Super smart people, very experienced Golang developers in their team, and that's very important. So this was something I personally was very busy with the fundraising process, but for users, we have been working a lot in the background. So Transfer to XYZ is gonna get probably a rebrand, also a complete redesign. We have been neglecting the user interface for quite a while, simply because we were busy onboarding clients. And now we are working heavily on redesigning Transfer to XYZ and work on our back end to improve the API. So whenever you use our platform, right, you talk to our server, and to get an answer that can take some time because we talk to so many DEXs, DEX aggregators, and
Right.
bridges in parallel. So depending on how slow they are, we are slow as well, right? We have only a certain degree of optimization radius here. So this is what we've been focusing on to optimize that part. But yeah, happy to show you how Transfer to XYZ works. And
Oh, definitely would love that, and we would also love to maybe take a look at your guys if you guys have a roadmap or what's next. What's next for you guys?
yeah, next for us is definitely so far we have covered the EVM context quite well. I think it's 17 chains and 10 different bridges. By now, we just released Stargate today or yesterday. So a great new addition, especially as Stargate is deep in liquidity. We have some market makers working with us. So yeah, especially the larger traders are happy now that they can do larger transactions. And next for us is going to more L1s, Solana, Near, Polkadot, Cosmos, and certainly also Aptos and Sui, as they will see a huge boom. So, and all of that is quite difficult because different language programming, different smart contract programming languages, different frameworks, and that means we need new developers, we need additional audits for each of these chains. It's an additional maintenance overhead. So yeah, it's going to be challenging, but I think the next year will be all about that. And also, we're going to release a widget that can be implemented on each website. We have been working the whole year on this, so it has an outstanding user experience. It will allow people to buy into dApps right away, so that users don't even have to use bridge interfaces anymore. They can just stick on the website and buy into it, and we do all the swapping and bridging in the background for you. So we are super excited about that, and yeah, we will release this by the end of the month probably.
That's awesome. I guess another thing. Speaking of audits, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of security that you have to consider, especially when working with bridges or just working in this space in general. Who have you guys done audits with?
we did our first audit publicly with Code Arena, and
Okay.
that was quite good. After that, we did a second audit with QuantStamp. These guys have been super helpful in pointing out things down the road as well. And now Spearbit DAO, which is quite new, but yeah, super experienced people. Very happy to work with them.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, if you're ready to share your screen, we can take a look at your guys' platform and go from there.
Sure. So sharing my screen. Can you see it?
There it is.
All right, perfect. Yeah, our official website, li.fi. This is more for the developers. So just jumping over this really quick. So whoever's interested here, you can dive into our documentation and start implementing us. Users can click on the top here or go directly to transfer to XYZ. This is going to get a redesign as mentioned, but yeah, this one here allows you to essentially say, all right, I'm on Ethereum right now, and let's say, let me refresh this. So I have ETH on Ethereum. I want to have USDC on Arbitrum, say 1,000. So on the right, we can see that we're calculating routes. Depending on which route to take, these things might take longer or go faster. Now we need to wait a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes the magic is patience.
Also, maybe 1,000 Ethereum is a little much. So 1,000 ETH. All right. So now we get a couple of routes to take. We also make some statements on this. If the routes are particularly fast, like down here, or it's just general, or we also try to recommend something. Here, for example, we can see right away, all right, we first do a swap into USDC, we are 0x, and then we're going to use hyphen. We can see how long it takes and the estimated token result or result in dollars. So we're going to keep the recommended one, and now we can click on swap and start that cross-hand swap. We took care of trying to make this as transparent as possible. All right, confirm. So here you can always see where you're at right now, how much time has passed, how much time is estimated. So yeah, now we're just going to wait. But I can talk in the meanwhile. Some bridges are faster, some bridges are slower. And what you can say, though, is that all these bridges are reinventing themselves over and over again. On the one side, that's good because the user experience is going to improve over time. At the same time, it makes the maintenance overhead for developers really difficult, right? Like if
Right.
all these bridges are about to reinvent themselves over and over again, for example, Connext started with state channels last year in April, then they came up with NXTP last year in July, and now they are about to launch Amarok. Biconomy is about to decentralize. Synapse is about to decentralize. Also, Biconomy had like a version 2 at some point. And same for other bridges. So we take care of all that maintenance overhead. All right, we're already done here. It took less than a minute.
Fast.
Yeah, now, yeah. So
So part of it is finding
and we can also see our historic transfers here.
Oh, sorry. Oh wow. So I was going to say, so part of it is also it finds you some of the better options of. It helps find the best option as well and provides a recommendation, which I think is great.
Yeah, it's not only that, like we give you a couple of recommendations based on what's important to you options. So essentially you can configure your slippage. You can also say, hey, I heard this bridge is not very secure. So you can deactivate certain bridges or deactivate certain swaps. And also, as you can see here, we are more than a bridge aggregator. We also allow to swap and bridge in the same transaction, or swap, bridge, swap. So more complex transactions that allows you to go out of or come out of any long tail asset and swap into any other long tail asset on a destination chain. So super flexible. As the bridge aggregator, and at Bridge Index Aggregator, we have the most available routes in this whole ecosystem. So we are the most advanced bridge aggregation protocol. And yeah, that's it so far. And yeah, looking forward to redesign all of this here.
Yeah, so you just gonna
yeah,
keep
we have been
adding
really
chains,
busy.
adding dexes. I love it. You guys are busy.
Yeah, and it's a lot of optimization. It's a lot of optimization. Like honestly,
Yeah.
60% of what we do in our backend is analytics, tracking, monitoring, understanding where is the transaction right now, how can we provide that information to the user or the developer so that we can build trustworthy user experiences and user journeys around this, right? And make sure that we always have full transparency about what's going on and provide that transparency to the user. This is very important.
Yeah, no, I agree. Transparency is key. So I guess what we're going to do next, if anybody has any questions, feel free to hit the ask a question button, and Philip and I will answer some of your questions.
Hey guys, Jimena here from the Moonbeam marketing team.
Hey.
While we wait for the questions, how about we go to the trivia? I will put the link in the chat so everyone can join, and we can get started.
Sounds great.
Awesome. Let me just copy here. Okay, here we are. Everyone can join the app, and the password or the game pin is gonna be this one. We'll give a couple of minutes for everyone to join, and we'll have some rewards at the end for the first 3 winners, and let's have some fun.
Yeah. So actually, about the rewards, top 3 winners will win 150 lizard tokens, and if Philip can shed some light on what lizard is.
Yeah, so lizard in general is our mascot because it's fast, it can adapt really quick, and that's how our tech works. The lizard token is kind of a soulbound token. So it is nothing that is tradable. It is nothing that is exchangeable. You're going to get it. And by having it, you are one of the Leafy OGs. And there might be another reward in the future. But all in all, it's more like of a gamification. We want to make it more fun to engage within the community, help other users, and help us to grow this. So it's kind of just it's a reward. It's tied to you. You can't trade it, and like it's not a typical token. But yeah, we're gonna continue to engage the community over and over again with it, and we will build up to some more exciting stuff with it.
That's awesome. Alrighty, well, Moonbeam Universe, are you ready? It's time for Levi Trivia.
We'll give 1 more minute for everyone to join. I see a couple of people already joined. Let's see. Are we ready?
Let's test some of that knowledge.
Yes. Remember that some of the questions were already answered in the conversation between Jay and Philip. So if you were listening carefully, you'll have all the answers. Okay, let's start. Let's go. And first question. What type of bridge would Leafy define as the most trustless?
2.
1. Yes,
Yes, that is correct.
that is correct. Okay, next question.
I hope that was an
Alright.
easy one.
You got fractal bounds in the lead. All right.
Which is not an integrated bridge.
That should be easy. You should question what is a bridge, what's not.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, very
First.
good.
Let's see, next question.
All right. Cram taking the lead.
Which is not currently an integrated text. I don't think you guys can hear the lovely music. Just give me 1 sec.
All right. It's close between Cram and Fran. We did mention two of those. All right, friend's still in the lead.
I love that guy from The Office.
Good old Dwight. All righty. All right. Fractal bounce in third. Fran in second. And in the spotlight we have Cram. Big congratulations to all our winners. We'll get those prizes out to you. Just wanted to say thank you, Philip, for coming to talk with us and educate us about the Leafy platform and your team. Definitely looking forward to more of your developments. Glimmer fan, be sure to follow Leafy on all their socials and stay up to date.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for coming, Philip, and keep building. Also, I just wanted to remind everyone that we have the Connected Contracts Hackathon right now. Be sure to check it out in the link down below. Thank you, Moonbeam and Moon River Voyagers, for attending another Moonbeam Universe. We appreciate you all, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, Philip.